everybody, welcome to Rahdo Runs Through. This is the R&R&R show, episode 73. I am Ruel Gaviola, joined as always by my co-host Chris George. Chris, how the heck are you, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic because this isn't just the R&R&R show. It's the R&R&R&R show. Everybody's an R.
Yeah.
We've got the whole crew from Legendary Tactics over here, and we're thrilled. We see PAX and NATO squishing into the frame right there to make sure that we all can get this thing all nicely framed up. And then we've got Flash on his own, just, he's in the same building, separate room. He's like, you know what, I don't want to be around you guys. We're like, we could do a 3-shot. It's like, no, I need my own space. It's thrilling to have you all on here as well, and I'm excited to do this list about the games that replace Uno.
Yes. So if you haven't already, folks, be sure to follow the Legendary Tactics channel. You can check the show notes below for those links. And before we get going to the list, folks, Legendary Tactics talks about Uno a bunch on their channel, and Flash, Cax, and NATO. Why Uno of all the games that you could talk about? I mean, you talk about all kinds of games, but why Uno in particular?
Well, it's funny because we actually, our two most successful videos are Catan Strategy Guide, and Uno is right up there, and that was never our intention. We just wanted to cover them, and we've got other videos that are way better, but for some reason people want to watch those ones. So
it's a popular thing, right? Like it's what a lot of people who aren't like super niched into the hobby as well will be searching for potentially, right?
But what's important with board games is that it's the games that people love to play. And I mean, worldwide, how many people play those two games? Tons and tons and tons. But the reason we're making this show is because they're not the best games out there. And we've got some better suggestions of how we can level up your gameplay if you're still relying on Uno and Catan.
Right. Oh, that's great. And why don't we take a quick look? And this is from your channel right here. This is the Uno video there. I mean, it's fantastic. I love this. So... friends, we're going to be doing the 6 games that replace Uno. So why don't we kick things off? Chris, you're going to lead things off this time with your choice. What game would you replace Uno with?
I am going to lead things off. And I had a few games that I was juggling between, and I should have opted for something different, but I had to give it to one of my favorite games of all time. Like, legitimately, this game is so fun. And I almost didn't include it because I just talk about it a lot on these R&R&R shows. But it is the game Dutch Blitz.
Yes.
Great pick. So good.
I love. There's that.
That's not Dutch Blitz. That's
this
Chris,
this
you
joke.
Want to talk about this?
What is that?
No, I don't. Must be a weird thing that's happening. That's weird. Yeah, no, I think that's the mascot for Dutch Blitz. I think it's on the back cover of a special edition. Maybe, I'm not sure. But Dutch Blitz does look a bit Dutch. Dutch Blitz is. I don't think I even have a video on Dutch Blitz.
Oh my gosh!
Wow. Really? No. I just talk about it a lot. It's in my top 10. It's in my top 10 games of all time.
Okay,
I think
we're gonna find it right here. Yeah.
Because I don't even really show it. That's my top 20 to 11. Anyway, I'm talking about Dutch Blitz here. Dutch Blitz is fantastic. All it is it's speed solitaire. And so the reason I feel it should replace Uno, if you're interested in speed games whatsoever, then that's something that you should for sure check out. If you're not interested in speed games, I think you can still have a great time with this game. My parents are very slow at this game and still love playing with me. It's speed solitaire. All it is you're trying to get rid of a small pile of 10 cards. You're putting it into the middle where you're counting up from 1 to 10 in a number of different piles. But if I put like the yellow 1 in the middle, well, then you can put your yellow 2 in the middle. And so you're going through your stack over and over and over again. And it gives you that feeling of matching the cards. It gives you the rush of, oh, I've got that card in my hand. I hope that they change it to the suit that I have. They did. Boom, I can play it now. Right? The ladder climbing element of Uno is the one that I wanted to focus on in terms of this the similarities between the two. And so I absolutely adore this game. It is so fun. I've played this game to start a game night, and then I looked at my watch and it was 4 a.m. and we started at like 8 a.m. It's just like I can't get enough of this game. If you have not played Dutch Blitz, you owe it to yourself to play. If you are still interested in Uno and you like that idea of like putting cards out and waiting for the right thing to come along, this one, it gives you your own more control over that aspect and putting them out into the middle. And so that's why I felt simple card game. I wanted to stick with card games in terms of replacements and not deviate too far away from that. So that's why I put Dutch Blitz on our list. It is our collective number 6.
Yes.
What about life size Dutch Blitz? Have you played that?
Oh.
With actual Dutch people?
Huge cards.
and throwing them on piles? I haven't.
Yeah. You play it in a giant room and you go running. You have to run and it's awesome. Amazing. It's like your little mini people on the table. It's amazing.
That sounds fantastic to me. Both versions sound fantastic.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Chris, and you were the reason why I picked up this game recently, because all the talk you've talked about it during the show, and it lived up to the hype, my friend. I was literally, the first time I played it, you don't play it just once. It's multiple times, and you didn't tell me it's a workout. You're sweating after all this. I'm like, okay.
You're sweating.
Yeah. So I got rid of my treadmill. I'm just playing Dutch Blitz all the time now, man.
That's all you need. It is the number 1 workout program across North America as well, exactly. Which is something that I think they should put on the box.
They should,
but they don't.
Yeah. So take that, Uno. You can't make me work out, but Dutch Blitz can. Great choice. All right, let's
now, Ruel. Before we move on, should we talk about for the viewers who didn't tune into the pre-show, as they know, there's always a pre-show that's happening. Should we talk about the giveaways that we're doing?
We should. Thank you for bringing that up, Chris. Yeah, folks, I was so excited to do this list. I just jumped right in and forgot to tell you that we've got a contest going on right now, as Chris mentioned, and you can win yourself 2 passes to the upcoming PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia this December. And Chris, you want to talk about how viewers can win their very own passes?
All you need to do is be on the lookout for a secret word. And let's say from this point onward, a secret word will appear. One of us will say it in the episode, and you have to email contest@rahdo.com with the name of the game where it appeared in the episode. So if it was in Dutch Blitz, you would say it was in Dutch Blitz. The secret word was kind of said in Dutch Blitz, which is what made me remember it, but that's not going to count. You still got to keep on listening for when it happens. The secret word is going to be shenanigans, like the shenanigans that were pulled. Exactly. But it's not my friend Shannon Gen. So be careful, because I like to talk about her a lot. I do like to mention her. She comes up quite often, very naturally in conversation. And so it's not her. Make sure you wait for the word shenanigans and then email contest@rahdo.com, and you could win a full ticket, the 3-day pass that is the entire event at PAX Unplugged, happening December 1st to the 3rd in Philadelphia.
Awesome.
Not to be confused with shenunogans.
Yeah.
Yes. Or chicanery.
Chicanery. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, friends, again, contest@rahdo.com. The name of the game when Chris or myself says the word shenanigans from this point on. Okay. And why don't we get back to the list? We are moving on to continue our list of the 6 games that replace Uno. We're going to pass it on to our friends at Legendary Tactics. Flash, what game would you replace Uno with?
Brilliant. Well, this is a hard question because it's got to be a family building game. It's got to be simple, got to be easy to learn, interactive mechanics, and most importantly, there has to be a little splash of mess with your neighbor mechanics in there. So a number of games crossed my mind. I thought about Sequence Stacks. I thought about The Crew. I thought about Wizard. Cockroach Poker was up there, really close. Skull came to mind. Love this game, but the mechanics just aren't right. And so I settled on No Thanks.
Nice.
So this game's super cool. It's a sequencing game. So in order to reduce your score, you need to put your cards in a sequence to reduce it. And it's even simpler than Uno if you think that's not possible, try this game. You have a choice on your turn. You either put a chit on the card if you don't want it, or you take the card. And cards are bad. You want the lowest score possible. So you mess with other people because of how you set them up to fail, essentially. And everyone I've played this with has loved it. All the people who like Uno, I think, will like No Thanks.
Yeah, this is a great choice. This is one of the first hobby, I guess, games that I played, a lighter hobby game when I got into the hobby, and immediately I love that style of that tension of, do I want to keep pushing? Do I want to take those chips now, or do I just take the card? Yeah, fantastic game. It's it's sad though. I don't have a copy of this game, and it's because I always play someone else's, but I feel like I need to have this in my collection. So yeah,
definitely,
great
it's a must-have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really solid. Sorry, I wanted to cut in there and say I also love the pick. I was too busy sipping on my friend Shannon's gin. But yeah, really good choice. I think that's a really good one.
Sweet. I feel validated. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Chris. Okay, why don't we move? I'm dying here. NATO, we've got more games that can replace Uno. What is your choice, my friend?
All right. There was a bunch that I thought of. Cockroach Poker was actually one of the other ones, or Hanabi was another one. Oh, yeah. But in the end, I went with Monopoly Deal. And Monopoly Deal is actually, Flash gave me my copy of that years ago. He's like, trust me, it's good. It's Monopoly, but it's a card game. And when you actually play it, it's actually a really fun variation. It keeps very true to the Monopoly, the spirit of Monopoly, but it plays out. It's a full, card game. There's some neat strategic choices as to whether you want to play the card for the property or take the money value to pay rents later, and that sort of thing. It's a really neat game. It is different than Uno, but the complexity level is I would say is roughly the same, maybe slightly more. But if you've played Monopoly, you should be fine. It's just in terms of collecting the property sets, but it plays out really well. The only thing is that I found, I actually played it this summer with my family, and it had been a while, and I'd forgotten how small the print is on the cards. So there's a lot of very fine print there, but at least in the edition that I have. But it is a really, really great game, and I think it replaces Uno. It's just a much better game. It's just much better choices involved.
Yeah, another fantastic choice. Actually, when we're putting together these lists, that was one of my finalists for this. It was either going to be my choice that I ended up with, or Monopoly Deal. Because I think it's fantastic that they were able to take Monopoly, which it's a huge game. People still play it, but we all know that it's not our favorite game. But they took the flavor of Monopoly and distilled it down to this really easy to play card game. And I used to have a copy of this, but it eventually left my collection. But I remember so many times when someone wanted to play Monopoly, I was like, "Hey, have you tried Monopoly Deal?" And it was always a hit. So great choice, Nate.
Yeah. Yeah. Although you do have to you have to say, look, it's 15 minutes, not 15 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was like the easiest sell, right? Hey, do you want to play Monopoly within 20 minutes? Like, oh, yeah, definitely. And then it would come out. Yeah, fantastic.
I always find whenever I play Monopoly with my friend Shannon, she always goes to jail again. We're always like, Shannon's in jail again. But hopefully that wouldn't happen to her in Monopoly Deal.
Oh, Chris. Folks, why don't
just classic Shannon. Classic Shannon.
That's Shannon. Why don't we move on? Let's see what else we got on the list here for games that replace Uno. Cax, what you got for us, my friend?
Sure, yeah. So when I was thinking about it, I wanted to get a game that was simple, easy to play, and card driven. And I also so I came up with 5 Minute Marvel, and from 2018. Now it is cooperative, so it does have a slightly different kind of twist to it, but it's light. Of course, it plays pretty quick. You want to get it done in 5 minutes, and it does add a little complexity to it though, because the bosses that you fight, they each have their own kind of. You have to vary the winning conditions against each boss to actually defeat it. There's the card matching mentality there, where each minion you fight has to you have to have a certain set of sequence of cards to defeat it, or certain icons. It's got the bosses actually scale up to, which is kind of a neat extra challenge for it as well, giving it 6 levels of difficulty. And in the end, it's Marvel. So how can you say no to that, really?
Right. Yeah, great. Yeah, I played the original I forget, was it 5 Minute Dungeon was the original?
5 Minute Dungeon, yeah, that's the only one I've played as well. Yeah.
And I thought that was a perfectly fun, again, lighter game, introductory or family weight game. And I think this is perfect for what we're shooting at, right? Games that replace Uno. And with the Marvel theme, of course, you're going to get, all kinds of people interested right away. So, yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. Great call.
I've sat down with my kids with this one, and for the most part, it's, Dad, can we play again? And so that's always a winner for me. When I'm getting that answer, I'm like, oh, you betcha.
Yeah.
We got to tackle that boss, right? So that's great.
I love that. That should be like a test for all board games or card games. Dad, can we play again? That's the ultimate test right there. Nice call.
Yeah, I only played 5 Minute Dungeon for the first time pretty recently, but I was surprised at how addictive it was. Okay, let's go to the next level.
Yep.
Let's go to the next level, and just throwing Marvel in there. I know things were getting so rambunctious around the table. Lots of stuff was happening. But I kept on going, I banged my shins again. But I was getting so into it just on the table. But it was really, really solid game.
Chris,
box shape does it for me.
You're the best, Chris. You're the best. We've got another game. Oh, it's my turn. I've got my choice now. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have a friend named Shannon, but I do have a wonderful game. Now, I'm going to throw this out there, folks. I think the game. Well, I'm going to let you know right now. My pick for the game that should replace Uno is Mantis, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to call Mantis the best mass market game that's been produced in the last 5 years. I think Mantis is absolutely fantastic. It reminds me of a game that came out a few years ago from a Ravensburger called Push, which is a push your luck game. But this game adds a little bit of set collection to it. And it's super simple. Here's me and Michelle. We're just playing this on my channel here. You have this deck of cards, and on the cards, the backs of the cards, there's going to be 3 different colors. And they, for those of us with colorblind issues, they have matching symbols. What you do is you're going to look at those colors. You're going to choose whether you're going to try to score it in your pile or pass it on, steal it from another player's pile. And what you do is look at those colors, you say pass or steal, and if you bring it to your side, you flip it over. If it matches one of your colors on your side, you have won that, and you're going to score it. If you go to your opponent's player side and say, hey, I'm going to steal the blue one, you flip it over, it's blue, then you take their blue ones. And it's just a race to 15 cards. It's super simple, but it passes the Dad Can I Play Again test, because anytime I bring this out, whether it's casual gamers or family or even some hardcore gamers, it's always played a couple times because it's so quick. It's like a 10-minute game. It works well at 2. I think it plays up to 5 or 6. It's fantastic. It's super simple, but super addictive. And it's got the Mantis art. If you all watched or read the comic The Oatmeal online, it's the same artist, Matthew Inman. He's the one that created this. So I love this game. I think it's one of those evergreen titles for me where I can take this and play it with such a wide variety of audiences. And that's why it's my choice to replace Uno, and that's Mantis.
Nice.
Cool. I've never played it. Played it before.
Oh, yeah. Highly recommend. I think it's from... I'm going to check it right now. I think it's from the Exploding Kittens people. They do very lightweight family-style games. Let me see. Mantis is published by Exploding Kittens. All right. So here's a fun fact. Exploding Kittens, one of their lead developers is a guy named Eric Lang of Blood Rage fame. And, he's brought his design sensibilities into this mass-market firm, and I think it's working wonders. And I can't say anything now, but I did get to take a look at some prototypes that I got to see a couple of weeks ago from Eric. That may be coming real soon, and I'm just gonna say they're good. That's it. No,
and they're cute.
They're cute. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, be sure if you haven't checked it out, folks, check out Mantis from Exploding Kittens. I love it. I think it's fantastic, and Yeah,
that was your run through that you were doing there. It wasn't Shay.
That was my run through. Yeah,
because sometimes when I look on it, I'm like, oh, Shay's on again. But okay, I just wanted to double check that it was
Chris,
you.
You're the best, my friend. You are the best. Why don't we see what Richard's got in store for us? See what his thoughts are on all this stuff that we're doing. Richard, take it away. Your games that replace Uno.
Guys, welcome to the show. Sorry I'm a bit late to the party, but those are excellent choices. Every single one of them. I love them. Chris, of course I knew you were going to put Dutch Blitz on, and there's never been a more appropriate time to do it. But actually, of those 5 that you've mentioned, my pick would have to be, it's such a brilliant idea to go with 5-Minute Marvel. Because using cooperative play to bring people in, most people have never even thought of the idea of working together and having fun at the same time. And co-op is what brought me into the hobby, so good choice. I wish I'd thought of it myself. I don't know if you mentioned it, but for people who do not like Marvel superheroes or they've had enough of it, there is an alternate option, which is 5-Minute Dungeon, the original fantasy version, which I actually covered on the channel, and it's fantastic. Why didn't I think of it? Because there can be only one. There can be only Uno. And if you are trying to beat Uno, there is no better way to do it than with For Sale. The granddaddy of card game auctions. This game is perfection. And the reason it works so well is because it's full of universal ideas of buy low, sell high. And buy low is the first half, sell high is the second half. This game is so easy to teach. All you gotta do, sit people down, shuffle the deck, put out, whatever the number of players of cards, representing the different mansions, give everybody their starting money, and then say, right, we're bidding for these. You want to get the most valuable collection of houses you can? Let's go. Everybody understands auctions. It's super simple, and you're up and playing just like that. And speaking of playing, man, I couldn't believe there were so many different how-to-play videos for this in so many languages, because this is such a universally loved game. Thank you, Siam Board Games, for this one that I thought showed off the components really, really nicely. Anyway, though, that's just the first half of the game. Then, once everybody has their hand of houses they bought and they're feeling good, you then say, right, okay, folks, we're not done yet. Now, you're going to sell high. And you bring out you shuffle up and play out the points cards or the money cards. Everybody makes now a closed bid, and highest bidder makes the most money, lowest bidder makes the less money, and that's it, instantly. And yet the game is so full of tension. It makes really memorable stories as people laugh as they miss out. There's all kinds of head games going on because you kind of remember what other people bought. Have they already used their big one? It's absolutely brilliant, and it's just that easy to teach. And I guarantee after you've done it, people are going to say, shuffle them up, we're going again. Because it has stood the test of times. Again, this game is just about perfection. And people will, after playing this, say, what? Uno? Why would we ever play that again? Again, thanks to Siam Board Games for it. The great real video here. One more thing I should add too. This game can grow with you. After you've gotten it and all your friends love it and you've played it a lot, if you're looking to take it to the next level, there was a recently released expansion for it called For Sale Advisors. And the beautiful thing about this is, it makes the game much more crunchy because it brings in a third phase where we're also bidding on personal advisors for our real estate empire, and they bring in special player powers as well. I would not recommend anybody start with this, but it is available so the game can grow with your group. And the other thing, Advisors also introduces 2-player gameplay as well. So it broadens the For Sale. It's perfect. Of course it has to be For Sale. Do you disagree, folks? Let us know down in the comments who chose the correct Uno replacement. Okay, guys, back to you.
Yeah, that was also on my short list of games. I love For Sale. I think Richard nailed it. It is one of those games, again, we were just talking about, does it pass the dad test? It absolutely passes the dad test. I play it. I want to continue playing it. It's so good. And I got it early on in my journey into modern board gaming, and it's withstood the test of time, as Richard said. Thoughts on For Sale? Have you all played it? Or if not, would you want to play it?
I have not.
No, I don't think so.
NATO needs to play it. He's a financial advisor. And
yeah. Buy low, sell high. That's
true
the
test.
name of the
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
Yeah. I haven't played it either. I feel like it's one of those things where I see it a bunch, but I'm like, buy low, sell high. What other shenanigans do you want to get up to? I don't know.
Exactly.
It's just
and it really is that simple to teach, right? I mean, everyone sort of knows that. Hey, I'm going to buy at this certain price, and in the next round, I'm going to hopefully sell for the most money. It's a really simple concept and simple gameplay. But those are the 6 games, folks, that we chose to replace Uno. We're not done yet, though. Be sure to click on the links below, and you're going to find us doing another list with our friends from Legendary Tactics, where we pick the 6 games that replace Catan, or Catan, or Catan. We're going to pronounce it right, I hope. But on behalf of Chris and the Legendary Tactics crew, thanks for watching. You've been watching the R&R&R show. We'll see you later. Take care, and bye-bye.